10 things you must know before buying your first rental property or home. Buying a rental property or a home for personal use isn't always as easy as it appears. Not sure where to start? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on juicy contents like this every week. Quickly smash the subscribe button and click on the bell button to get notified when we upload a new post. Let's take a look at everything you need to know before buying a rental property. Number 1, the potential to make income. The first thing you will need to consider before investing in a rental property is how much income it has the potential to generate you. As you may anticipate, a property that fails to bring in a notable amount of money will not only become a liability, but it could also prevent you from investing in another property. Fortunately for you, there is a widely accepted guideline known as the 1% rule that will help you make your decision. This states that the monthly income you receive from your tenants who rent your property should be equal to or greater than 1% of the property's total value. For example, a home that is worth $500,000 should bring at least $5,000 per month in rental income. There are certain circumstances, though, where you may not need that much money. This can depend on factors like your down payment, financing options, etc. 2. Ideal location. This is another factor that you should highly emphasize when searching for a rental property. In fact, this characteristic in itself will play a large role in both the cost of the property and how easy it is for you to find tenants. The property location also includes more than the geographic area. Some of these aspects includes proximity to quality schools, hospital, public transportations, etc. Proximity to places of commerce or recreation, malls, park, nightlife. How attractive the neighborhood is for tenants, aesthetic, safety. It's worth noting, though, that a lower quality home on the outskirts of a neglected neighborhood will likely have little variation in cost when compared to other homes in that same neighborhood. From here, you could invest a bit of money into renovations to make it a much more attractive option for future rentals, even if it costs money upfront. Keep in mind that even a low quality house may still come at a high price if it's in an area close to a state university, music venue, etc. 3. Who is your desired tenant? Students, for example, will often look for a small home or apartment that is already furnished. Since their stay is only temporary, the overall quality of the property will matter less to them. Families, on the other hand, often already have their own furniture and will be keeping an eye out for certain amenities. The quality of the home will also play a much larger role, since the average family will likely stay in one house for years at a time. Your desired or preferred tenant will determine how much you are willing to spend. If you can successfully finance an expensive home in a nice neighborhood, families are your ideal option. Smaller homes or apartments are better suited to students, single tenants, etc. Since these areas will see a high amount of traffic, it is not unreasonable to keep personalization, paintings, renovations, etc. to minimum to avoid unnecessary work in between tenants. So make sure to keep factors like this in mind when searching for your rental property to ensure that you find one that's right for you. 4. Unforeseen circumstances. There may be periods of time when you don't have anyone renting your property, leaving you stuck with the mortgage bill. If you're primarily renting to students in a college town, there is a high chance of this happening during the summer months, since there are lesser number of students taking summer classes on campus. You might also find yourself being responsible for expensive repairs to the property, which can often prove to be a large financial setback. Additionally, you may even need to evict your tenants at some point, which can also cost a significant amount of money. In general, it is best to keep at least 3 months worth of rental expenses available so that the financial impact of having a vacant property for a short period of time isn't particularly crippling. 5. Your property management. If you don't have time or energy to manage your rental property on your own, you will need to budget for hiring a property manager. A property management company often takes a percentage of the month's rent, so there's likely won't be a fixed cost. They may also charge for services such as supervising maintenance workers. For some owners, this isn't an issue. For others, they may not be fond of paying a significant portion of their monthly rental income to someone else, especially if the home is worth $400,000 to $500,000 plus. It is important to note, though, that a reputable property management company is well worth the expense due to the peace of mind it will provide you. 6. Homes with outdoor spaces. Having a large deck, patio, or backyard is an attribute of a property that rentals will often prioritize. This is especially true if the surrounding neighborhood is relatively cramped, or if the outdoor spaces comes with a view. Areas with warmer climates will often have more people wanting to spend time outdoors on the property they are renting, but this doesn't mean that outdoor space isn't valuable for colder regions. For example, a large deck with a stone fire pit is a perfect way to keep warm while having company over during the colder months. It will also give them space to personalize without having to make significant changes to the property. 7. Vacation rental. Areas with warmer climates, those near tourist attractions or regions where people love to vacation, such as Goa in India, Hawaii in the US, are great places to look for a rental property. Although you may also be able to rent properties in vacation regions for only part of the year, you can likely charge much more in rent each month. Tenants will likely expect this anyway, since those who rent vacation properties understand that short occupancy is a liability for the owner. If you plan on purchasing a property, especially a house or a condo, in a location where people travel to, consider marketing your property as a vacation home. This will open the door to a whole new range of tenants you may have not previously considered. 8. Search rent-ready property. Unless you are experienced in doing home renovations yourself or have trustworthy contacts you can call, fixing up a house likely isn't as easy as you may think. Not only will it cost thousands of dollars, but it will also cost you and your potential tenants valuable time. So it's best to look for properties that are rent-ready. Aside from minor fixes, a solid rental property won't need any changes or further investments, allowing you to get tenants moved in as soon as possible. 9. You need to craft a rental agreement. Unfortunately, many people who attempt to purchase and rent out a property on their own aren't familiar with what a rental agreement should include. This could lead to legal complications in the future, or even the tenants taking advantage of a loophole in the documents you have provided. Although it would be another cost to consider to have a lawyer look over the document, it's well worth the security of knowing your agreement includes everything it should. In addition to things like rent, whether or not pets are allowed, etc., your agreement should also mention any cleaning the tenants are required to complete upon moving out, how early rental agreement termination is handled, when to call and when not to call regarding repairs/emergencies. The more you establish in your lease, the better you'll be able to predict the behavior of your tenants. 10. How to recognize a bad tenant. Screening your potential tenants is one of the most important responsibilities you have when it comes to renting your property out. In general, you will want to verify their income or previous addresses, run a criminal background check, and research their previous eviction history. If anything concerning arises during your screening, it is wise to move on to the next applicant. While not all tenants with previous criminal convictions will be an issue, some will likely be great rentals. You are rolling the dice on them compared to someone with a clean record. At the end of the day, it's your decision who you rent to, but a bad tenant can significantly damage your return on investment from your rental property and deliver a powerful blow to your finances. Knowing what to consider before buying a rental property can seem difficult, but it doesn't have to be. Right now, I believe you know what to do before buying your first rental property. You will be well on your way to making sure that you make the right decision when shopping.